Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 16.3B. I've entitled this video, Issues in South Asia. This video is going to cover pages 508 to 509. Issues in South Asia. South Asia is a region of rapid growth. As the population grows, it will be ever more important for South Asians to work together to resolve their differences and jointly address the issues they face. Earning a living. One of the biggest challenges for South Asians is making a living. Many people are farmers, but good cropland is scarce. Yet, South Asians have managed to grow enough food to feed their huge population. How do they do it? Question number 1. How do many South Asians make a living? Agriculture, farming. Agricultural advances known as the Green Revolution have helped increase crop yields. The Green Revolution involves the use of irrigation, fertilizers, and high-yielding crops. Because of these improvements, India has not had to import food to feed its people since the 1970s. This situation might change, however. Green Revolution methods are no longer yielding increases in crop productivity to meet the growing need. Question number 2, what does the phrase Green Revolution mean? Well, this definition here does it pretty well. A set of research technology transfer that increased agricultural production worldwide. And some of those strategies are, for question 3 strategies used in the Green Revolution: using irrigation, using fertilizers, and growing high-yielding crops, or crops that produce a lot of what you're looking to feed people for. In addition to farming, some South Asians make a living from mining or fishing. Others own or work for cottage industries. Cottage industries are small businesses that employ people in their homes. Cottage industries include textile weaving, textiles are clothes, making jewelry and furniture, and wood carving. These small businesses help traditional crafts survive. Question number 4, what does the phrase cottage industry mean? Well, this definition does a good job here. A small-scale manufacturing business owned and operated by an individual or family, often from their home. So it's many times a very small business person or family, and they many times operate from their own home. Question number 5. What are some examples of cottage industries in South Asia? You have textile weaving, so they're making clothes, as you can see here, making jewelry, making furniture, and wood carving are just some examples of cottage industries. Advanced technology is a fast-growing part of the South Asian economy. Entire cities have grown up around the high-tech field. Indian computer specialists, engineers, and software designers are in high demand throughout the world, including the United States. Question number 6. What is a fast-growing part of the South Asian economy? We have advanced technology. Question 7. What are the 3 high-tech jobs that are in high demand in the world that are growing in South Asia? Computer specialists, engineers, software designers. Another growing part of South Asia's economy is ecotourism. Ecotourism combines recreational travel and environmental awareness. Question number 8. What does the term ecotourism mean? So it's just basically combining enjoying traveling for recreation, so for fun and enjoyment, but also it combines that with environmental awareness, trying to, preserve and protect these places in the world that are beautiful, majestic, and have some of our most amazing creatures. So that's ecotourism. It's combining the fun of travel and also protecting these wonderful places we have on the planet. Making connections. The efficiency of communication systems varies. Newspapers are thriving, cheap, and widely read, but landline phones are often unreliable. Cell phones have helped ease communication problems. Because of its vast numbers of English speakers, India is well suited for outsourcing. Outsourcing occurs when a company hires an outside company or individual to do work. U.S. companies often outsource to foreign countries where workers may be more flexible or willing to work for lower wages. A U.S. resident who calls customer service with a laptop problem might speak to an agent in India. Question number 9. What does the phrase outsourcing mean? Well, I like this definition down here. The business practice of hiring a party outside a company to perform services or create goods that were traditionally performed in-house by the company's own employees and staff. And that is what we call outsourcing, where jobs for a business are actually done outside, usually outside the country that that business is located in. Question number 10. What are the two main reasons why United States companies outsource jobs to places like India? Number one, the workers in that country might be more flexible. And number two, that worker in that other country in the world might be willing to work for lower wages, which is definitely the case in places in the world that don't have a minimum wage like we have here in the United States. Meeting challenges. Despite South Asia's rich resources, the region faces a number of challenges. One challenge is the long-standing conflict between India and Pakistan over the largely Muslim territory of Kashmir. And you can see that area right there, and then here it sort of zooms into that. The area containing the headwaters of the Indus River is one source of conflict. Both countries want to control the source of the river. Today, control of Kashmir is divided between the two countries. Question number 11. What area of the world that is largely Muslim does India and Pakistan fight over? That Muslim territory of Kashmir. Question 12. What is a big reason why both India and Pakistan want that area? Because it contains the headwaters of the Indus River, which is considered a huge part of the culture and religion and history of these two countries. Sometimes, political conflicts have resulted in tragedy. Two of India's prime ministers have been assassinated in recent decades. Well, first of all, we know that Gandhi himself got assassinated, but then you have Indira Gandhi, the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru in 1984, and then her son Rajiv Gandhi in 1991. So three people in India's most recent history that have been important figures have been assassinated. Both prime ministers were killed by extremists who oppose their views. Another issue in India involves oppression of the Dalits, or so-called untouchables. For centuries, these people have been discriminated against as outcasts, barely clinging to the lowest rung on the social ladder. Question number 13. What tragedy affected Indira Gandhi in 1984 and Rajiv Gandhi in 1991? Assassinations. Question number 14. What are the Dalits in India? Those are, this definition here, a socially, economically, and historically marginalized community person in India. So it's someone who has been labeled as untouchables. Question number 15. How have the Dalits been treated for centuries in this part of the world? They've been treated as outcasts, they've been discriminated against, and they are basically on the very, very bottom of the social ladder. Other South Asian countries also face challenges. In Sri Lanka, the two main ethnic groups engaged in a civil war that lasted several decades and cost more than 60,000 lives. In Nepal, a rebel group has been struggling since 1996 to overthrow democracy and establish a communist government. Tribal people control large parts of the Pakistani-Afghanistan border. Question number 16. What negatively impacted Sri Lanka in that time period? Well, they engaged in a civil war from 1983 to 2009, and that lasted several decades and it cost a lot of lives. Other challenges involve health and environmental issues. Rapid pollution growth and lack of infrastructure have led to water pollution and air pollution in many parts of South Asia. Deforestation is also a major problem. Most of India's forests have been cut down for timber or development. Water quality, wildlife habitats, and climate have been affected as a result. Question number 17. What are some of the health and environmental challenges facing South Asia? Well, they have rapid population growth, which strains their resources. It leads to water pollution, air pollution, deforestation, water quality, wildlife habitat changes, and climate changes have all been things that have challenged and will continue to challenge South Asia. South Asia has achieved some success in meeting the challenges. The civil war in Sri Lanka has ended, restoring peace to that island country. India has implemented stricter controls on air and water pollution. Government expenditures for wildlife conservation have increased many times over. So question number 18, what are some of the successes South Asia has experienced in some of their challenges? Well, Sri Lanka's civil war has ended, so there's peace once again. India is trying to put in stricter controls for air pollution and water pollution, and the government is trying to spend more money to preserve the wildlife habitat areas. Well, thank you so much for watching. Before we go, this is how I write answers in my exam. What is green revolution? Green revolution is a revolution. It is green in color. It is very good revolution. Very nice. It is very useful revolution. Green revolution means green revolution. Oh my, that is not a great response. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.